The recording has started. Diving deep into the storm, bring on. We can believe that we no longer need diving deep into the storm, bringing love. So we can believe that we no longer need diving deep into the storm, bringing love, so we can release that which we no longer need. Diving deep into the storm, bringing love, so we can release that which we no longer need. Diving deep into the storm, bringing love, so we can release that which we no longer need. Diving deep into the storm, bringing love, so we can release that which we no longer need. Diving deep into the storm, bringing love, so we can release that which we no longer need.
Aloha. Good evening. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona, with Spiritual Image Productions on pre-conference call and YouTube, establishing and maintaining right relationships for human value. Aloha and welcome to tonight's show. Tonight we're doing Andrew Aloha live, talking with Jennifer Noel Taylor, all the way out of Hawaii. Are you in Hawaii right now, Jennifer?
I am. Yeah, I'm on the island of Maui, North Shore of Maui.
Hawaii. Yeah, I did. I lived in Maui for about 7.5 months, so that was pretty cool. So anyhow,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
tonight we're talking about Love Incorporated, the business of doing what you love. And just to let you guys know, Jennifer Noel Taylor is an energy healing practitioner, self-help motivator, and the CEO of Quantum Touch Incorporated. She has dedicated her life's work to helping people discover the healing power of their love. After graduating from Cal Polytechnic University, where my dad used to work at, believe it or not, San Luis Obispo, California, she started her first job as a software engineer in San Diego. Like so many people, she felt incredibly trapped and depressed, and and she felt like she was at a job that paid bills but didn't align her with her true passion in life. She innately knew that she had a purpose and felt keenly aware that she was following or not following her true life calling. Now, as a CEO of Quantum Touch, she continues to promote optimal wellness by helping people connect more deeply to their love. Not only is love the basis of all healing, but it is also the guiding force behind the business of itself. Her business practices include spiritually rewarding jobs, loving service to the world, environmental responsibility, and financial abundance. Quantum Touch has grown from a regional U.S. company to a multinational corporation. In Love Incorporated, author Jennifer Noel Taylor reveals four powerful insights into successfully pursuing your true calling in life. Love Incorporated will help you connect with your innate wisdom and transform your life into an expression of authentic, heart-centered purpose. Love Incorporated is a guide to connecting with your innate wisdom and creating a truly magical and fulfilling life. You don't need to sacrifice your passion, joy, values, or integrity to have an abundant life. Doing what you love is actually instrumental in creating true success. For more on Jennifer Noel Taylor and her book and Love Incorporated, you can go to www.loveincorporatedthebook.com. Loveincorporatedthebook.com. And we're going to come back and talk to Jennifer here in a couple minutes. First of all, I do want to give a big aloha to our underwriters who help make this show happen week to week, month to month, year to year, beginning with the 90-day Ascension Journey at www.90dayascensionjourney.com. When you sign up for the 90-day Ascension Journey, you will be facilitated with defining and redefining your soul or true life purpose. You will be assisted with finding out what Ascension means to you. On this journey, you will be provided with tools, techniques, and assistance to empower you to connect and reconnect with yourself, your emotions and feelings, and your mind, body, and spirit. Through a universal soul-centered process, you will be going through a lifelong transformation that will allow you to move forward with your endeavors and never look back if you dare. And then we have Anovite, which is a French word, Anovite, at www.spiritualimageproductions.anovite.com. With over 25,000 scientific papers published on colostrum, a 90-day guarantee, and winner of the Healthy Living People's Choice Award twice over, Anovite focuses on helping people with weight loss, anti-aging, heart disease, diabetes, depression, high blood pressure, asthma, allergies, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation, gout, lupus, fibromyalgia, Crohn's disease, cancer, ulcers, the polio virus, chronic infections, digestive disorders, Alzheimer's disease, autoimmune disease, thymus gland, mental clarity, maintenance and protection of the immune system, synthesis and repair of RNA and DNA, and more. And then we also have find Mahadikini Lore at www.mahadikini.com. Mahadikini Lore's life has been a personal journey exploring sexuality and spirituality for over 20 years. She's a certified tantric counselor and tantric healer and a certified tantra mind sound teacher. Mahadikini Lore is also a graduate of Margot Non's year-long Sky Dancer Tantra Facilitator Training Program, as well as a current member of the American Association of Sex Educators Club, as well as a counselor and counseling. Oh, and anyhow, also a charter member of the Association of Sexual Energy Professionals. She regularly attends trainings and conferences to keep current with the latest research and information on sexual education. And then we have Jennifer Noel Taylor at www. No, I'm just kidding. Aloha, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, aloha. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was just we're friends on Facebook, and I don't know how I got connected with you, but I thought, man, I want to bring that book on here and talk to her about her book. So I tell you what, if you can just kind of just give us an overview of who Jennifer Noel Taylor is, where you grew up, and how you got to where you're at now, and then we'll go to your book from thereafter. How's that?
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, so I'll start out with an overview. So basically, I was born in California in the San Fernando Valley. And from there, I got interested in computer science, actually. And I started writing software when I was in 8th grade, just for fun. I wrote video games. And so I ended up going to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo and studied computer science. And I had a lot of fun at college, and then I started my first job in a company in San Diego. And I noticed something that was very disappointing when I started my first job. I noticed that my heart really wasn't that into it. So here I went, spent so much time getting a degree, and I started my job, and I was really disappointed by being out in the workplace. And I had this inclination or sense that I was actually put on the planet to do something else. I didn't quite know what that was, but I was very depressed at my job because I felt like I wasn't really doing what I came here to do. So while I was working full time, I ended up going to massage school, and I was really interested in the whole idea of touch for some reason. Like, what is it that, what's that thing to people, and why is it that it can improve your mood, and what is going on there? So I went to massage school, and we had a section on energy medicine during massage school. And during that section, when we studied energy medicine, I got a message from the universe saying, energy medicine is your life work. Now, that was 15 years ago, before energy medicine was really well known at all. And I really, at that point, thought the universe was crazy because, first of all, I was making a lot of money writing software, and second of all, I didn't know anyone who did energy medicine full time as a job. So I thought the universe was really crazy, and also I didn't really know that the universe actually spoke to you either. So the whole idea was the whole idea was really insane. But anyways, I was so intrigued despite my misgivings, and I ended up looking more into energy medicine. I went to a lecture by Richard Gordon, who is the founder of a energy healing modality called quantum touch. And I went to his lecture, and he was doing demonstrations of energy medicine. And at that moment, the universe gave me another message, and it said that you're supposed to run this guy's company. Now, if I hadn't thought the universe was completely crazy before, now I was. First of all, right. I didn't know Richard. And second of all, I wasn't aware of any openings in his company, and I couldn't just go up to him and say, by the way, I'm here to go.
Right.
So again, I kind of wrote it off, but still intrigued. So anyhow, I ended up connecting with Richard. We hung out a lot, and I just felt inspired to go see what he was up to in Santa Cruz, California, where he lived at the time. So I quit my job. 15 years ago, I was making about $72,000 a year, which is really good. And I had benefits, health benefits, and I just quit. And I got on a plane and flew out to Santa Cruz, California, and tried to figure out why I was so compelled to pursue medicine. So, anyways, little while after I got to Santa Cruz, the CEO of Quantum Touch, who was running the company at the time, said, I'm going to quit because I need to get a real job because this company is going under and I need something much more secure. So would you like to run the company? And I said, okay. So I fully got her desire to jump off a sinking ship.
Right.
3 months on the verge of going out of business. And so I took it on and I ended up taking on the job as CEO. And that's where it all started. That's where I started working with Quantum Touch and energy medicine, and I've been doing that ever since.
Now, before you go to the next part, first of all, how long did you work as a software engineer?
Let's see. I worked as a software engineer for about maybe 5 or 6 years.
Oh, really? Got it. And then when you heard the universe tell you, well, you're going to be doing energy work, was it a female voice? Was it a male voice? And was it within? Was it thundering or just soft? Or how did that come to you?
Okay, that's a great question. So the voice of the universe, let me discuss that for a moment. So I believe that a lot of people are familiar with this voice. I think people call it the still small voice of the heart. So it's not a big thundering, booming voice from the heavens, and I didn't really perceive it as male or female either. It was more like a notion of the heart, like kind of a knowing that this was my path. So I feel like we're all kind of familiar with that. Even the most diehard skeptic has heard, the little voice. I know I have a friend who doesn't believe in angels or anything New Age, and still talks about how that little voice has saved him from an untimely death.
Right.
So I think it's there, and it's always available, and sometimes it's just really, like in a moment of intensity, it may get that message really clearly. So that's what I mean by the voice of the universe. The still small voice is the still small voice of the heart, and
so you're saying that you did hear an auditory voice, or you did not? It was more of an intuitional thing.
It was kind of both. For me, it's the still small voice of the heart is auditory, but it's more like an energy too.
Okay.
So it's like maybe it may speak something, but it's very subtle. So you kind of get the whole meaning as far as the key days, like in energy. I think a lot of people can hear their guides, for example, or Doreen Virtue, who wrote a lot of books on this topic, talks about how different people perceive that voice differently. For some, it may be an intuition, for some, it may be an energy, for some, it may be like a visual thing. For some, it may actually be a voice. So there's different ways that people, quote unquote, hear this voice. And I believe that it just depends on your particular way that you tap in, or the way that you hear.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And typically, that usually, a lot of times, is the distinction between somebody being crazy and somebody being sane and still working with the other side, the spirit world. Because I have had when I was going out to school at Texas Christian University, I was living in an apartment, and I woke up one morning and I hear this loud, thundering voice, literally loud and thundering in my mind. Andrew, what do you want? Like really, like I just like blew me away. Like, right, what the heck was that, right? And then about another day or two later, I hear this other angelic. It was different. It was an angelic voice, a female sounding voice. Andrew, you're very special, or something like that. And so anyhow, but I have also heard the still small voice that you're talking about, and that's typically more truer. If people are going to hear voices inside their head, or I guess if you hear them outside your head, then that means you're going crazy or something. But you typically, when you hear them inside your head, if they're really soft and faint, as what I hear you saying, then typically it's usually some being a saint or some really evolved being or so, or something like that. Because otherwise, now I have had, believe it or not, where I've had voices, I've had communications of telepathic communications, but they were literally communications with the CIA or KGB or something like that, and that was a little bit pretty wild. So, but and after that, I had to stop. I had to really take time to make sure my communications were correct and accurate, and not communicating with lower evolved beings that I wasn't wanting to communicate with and planning on communicating with, that had no involvement with what I was trying to accomplish. But anyhow, it's like that. So you had these faint communications, is what I hear you saying twice over, and you took over this guy's company corporation. Now, I mean, this was in Santa Cruz. It was based out of Santa Cruz. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, about 15 years ago, it was based out of Santa Cruz, California, and we moved around quite a bit, but that's where we started.
Got it, got it. And then what happened? What happens after that, Jennifer?
Okay, so after that, well, first of all, I was under the impression that if you do what you love, if you live your purpose, that everything's just fine and dandy after that, like everything flows and it's all good. And but that wasn't the case. What happened after that is that it was just a struggle. Like the company was really struggling, and we had a lot of different issues. It was just really hard, especially financially. We just didn't. It just wasn't. It was on the verge of going out of business. So that was basically what I got into, was a company that was pretty much failing, and there's a whole bunch of things that happened after that. I could probably take up hours.
Well, we got plenty of time. You can mention some of the things if you want. Why not?
Yeah, so basically, after I took over the company, my first goal was to keep it going, to stop struggling. And it's just been, it wasn't easy at first. And Richard and I ended up moving to Arizona for reasons that we don't fully understand. But there was a bit of magic going on.
Did you move to Sedona?
We moved to Tucson.
Oh, really? No kidding. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not really sure why we did that, but we got to Tucson again. We were struggling with the company, and I decided to start connecting with some people in the community. And I started calling some people who were in our database, like other quantum touchers. And I felt drawn to connect with this one woman. And I said to Richard, "Hey, Richard, let's go out with this one woman tonight." And Richard said, "All right, I'm not sure where we're going, but yeah, let's go." And so we went out with this woman, and we just kind of started talking about things. And she asked us how the company was doing, and we said, "Well, not that great. We don't have really much money left, and just not going good." And she said, "Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a donation to your company. I'd like to give you a bunch of shares of my Eli Lilly stock."
Wow.
And so yeah, just totally out of the blue. And so she gave us a bunch of shares. We ended up, because we were struggling so much, we ended up cashing out immediately.
Right.
And it basically, saved us. And I tried to connect with the woman later to thank her, and I couldn't find her. And, the number was disconnected. Mail was returned. Yeah, she just kind of disappeared. So I definitely view that as divine intervention, a little piece of magic to keep us going. And so, I feel like a lot of times magic can happen when you're open to it, and that was pretty fun for us. So, anyways, yeah. So we kept on going, and we trying to think if there's a lot of different stories about how we've been working with the business.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
what is it that the company does? What's its purpose? What does it specialize in?
Okay, so quantum touch is a energy medicine modality. We teach people how to use life force energy to facilitate the healing process. So it's similar to Reiki or healing touch or other hands-on healing modalities. And the core philosophy is that we're primarily spiritual beings having a human experience. So the idea, and this is also proven with quantum physics, the idea is everything is energy. Even Einstein said that everything is energy. So we feel that when you work with this energy, you can facilitate the healing process by shifting your vibration or shifting your frequency. And it works very similarly to the law of attraction, where people believe that we create our reality and we attract into our reality who we are. Our vibration attracts our experience. That's another way of putting it. So if you shift your energy, if you shift your vibration, your actual experience changes. And this has actually been proven in quantum physics, so it's not just speculation. Quantum physicists have shown that the reality is a realm of possibilities, and then through the act of observation, that your energy, through the act of observation, the realm of possibilities becomes an actuality. And so anyways, that's a very brief description of energy medicine.
No, I hear you. Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. First of all, are you using symbols? Are you doing treatments? How long is this taking? Is there levels? If you can give us an overview of all that.
Okay, so with energy medicine, basically the practitioner holds the space. So holds the space of love and high vibration. And then the client can use that energy to help facilitate their own healing. So we don't actually heal other people. I want to make sure I get that point across. Nobody can heal you. You actually have to do your own healing, but we can hold the space to help facilitate the healing.
Exactly.
So you're your own healer. Yeah. So I think that's something that's really important because a lot of people are giving their power away, whether it be giving their power away to something outside of themselves, like whether it's a pharmaceutical or another healer or something of that nature. So it's really important to remember that we do our own healing process.
Absolutely.
So the way that we hold the space, different modalities teach different techniques. So we teach breathing and body awareness exercises. We teach ways to how to adopt the energy to the particular condition that we're working with. We teach a method that can help people identify the emotional cause of the disease. We have a bunch of different methodologies that we teach people that can help hold the space for healing on the part of the client. And we have what we call Quantum Touch Level 1, which I call Energy Healing 101, really basic introduction to energy medicine. And then we have a Level 2, which is working with the heart energy. And then we have a Self-Created Health Workshop, which works with the emotional cause of disease, which I love because a lot of times if a person's stuck and they're just not seeing results, a lot of times that disease or physical condition can be traced back to something that happens emotionally, like stuck emotion. So that's a wonderful workshop. And we also teach people, we have courses on how to see energy, like people who are really interested in like how do you perceive or feel energy. So we have courses on that. So we have a lot of different offerings with energy medicine.
And how long does it take to become a practitioner?
So we have on our website a bunch of requirements to become a practitioner, and it can take, it depends on how fast somebody moves through the program. So the requirements are they have to take 3 courses, and they also have to do a 90 hours of practice on different people. So that can take, just various amounts of time, how much the person, devotes to it.
So typically it can be about a year program, six months to a year program. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, it can take a while depending on how fast somebody can attend all the workshops and how much they devote to the 90 hours of practice. Like if they do 5 hours a week, it could definitely take a while. If they do like 40 hours a week, they could get their 90 hours done in a shorter period. So it's really like up to the practitioner how long it takes to do all the requirements to become a practitioner.
Got it. So I tell you what, let's go like this. We're close to the halfway mark, and I want to go ahead and just play some music. Let's do Desert Magic by Serena Gabriel. In fact, the introductory song that we were listening to was by Serena Gabriel. She's out of Tucson, believe it or not. In fact, I met with her, and she was just a very down to earth type of person. She put together this album called Diving Deep, and in fact, the song that we played at the intro was Diving Deep. And so we're going to play Desert Magic from her Diving Deep album, and we're going to send out love blessings to healings, angels of light and love to all the healers, to all the practitioners out there, all the counselors, all the therapists, to the President of the United States. Oh my God, that guy needs some help, and his entourage. To all the kids and the animals and the plants on the planet, especially the ones that need concern. And of course, to all the people here on the phone lines and all our family and friends and all our places of residence and our vehicles that help take care of us. Anybody you want to add to that, Jennifer?
Yeah, I would like to add our community, especially everyone who posts their healing requests on our Facebook group page. We have a lot of requests on that page, so I'm going to go ahead and add everyone into that.
And how about area code 702? Do you want to add anybody to that as well? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, everyone else in need and concern, we will be back again. Let me see. Okay. Desert Magic by Serena Gabriel from her album Diving Deep. And we're back. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona with Spiritual News Productions on free conference call and YouTube, establishing and maintaining right relationships through love. Tonight we're talking with Jennifer Noel Taylor, all the way out of Hawaii, and talking about her book, Love Incorporated, The Business of Doing What You Love. Now, earlier she tells us that you grew up in California, is that correct, Jennifer?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and what, Southern California?
Yeah, like a suburb of Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley.
Oh, San Fernando Valley, that's right, I remember you saying. So she grew up in San Fernando Valley and decided to study at Cal Polytechnic University, which is where my dad used to work at, but that's the point. So anyhow, she got into software development. She did that for about 5 or 6 years, and she said, "That's enough. I don't want to do this anymore." So she had guidance from the universe, as she calls it, and saying that she's going to be doing energy work, and then that she was going to take over this guy's company called Quantum Touch, and so that's what now. And how long ago was that you've been doing since you've been doing that, Jennifer?
That was about 15 years ago.
15 years ago. So you've been on a mission from God. Okay. So so anyhow, she took over the company, and somehow they ended up in Tucson, and they went out with her and the other co-owner of the company, Richard, went out with a woman, and she goes, "Well, why don't I give you all these stocks?" And so they took the stocks, cashed them in, and then they started going developing from there. So what now the program, the Quantum Touch program is like kind of like Reiki. There's 3 levels. Is that it, or is there more than that?
I actually wouldn't call them levels because we just teach different aspects of the work in different workshops. So Reiki has different levels, but we're just more of a, I guess we have a level 1 and level 2, and then we have some other classes that aren't necessarily like higher up, you know what I mean? They're more like auxiliary classes that do other aspects of looking with energy.
Got it. And so the whole idea is to be a hold space, to emanate love, to so that people can heal themselves. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, so the whole idea is to hold a frequency of energy that can help people facilitate their own healing by typically in training to that frequency helps them alter their frequency so that they're can facilitate their healing process. So it's based on the whole idea that our reality is a reflection of our own vibration.
Got it, got it. So, and let me ask you this: in all these 15 years, what kind of results have emanated from this, or what kind of testimonials do you come that people come back to you and say this, and that?
That's a great question. So, as far as results, one of the results that's pretty typical is pain reduction. So, we don't people don't have to take medication. We see a lot of great results with relieving pain with this energy work. And we just finished a clinical study on testing quantum touch with pain. And on average, it was a 67% of people received a significant reduction in pain. So that's a great percentage, and that's what I've noticed. There's a lot of work with reducing pain or eliminating pain. We've seen all kinds of other things too. It's kind of all over the map. I mean, people have seen their scoliosis straighten out. We've seen what I've called miraculous. Cancer going away, scoliosis straightening out. And we're not allowed to say that we actually cure anything. So I'm very careful to say that we've seen different results, but
no, absolutely. If
terminology that we cure.
No, if people, and I'm not considered a doctor either, and so if people need to see their physician, and then for some kind of treatment or whatever, then they're definitely advised to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, we don't claim to be doctors or anything like that. But yeah, the results are really exciting because we see all kinds of different things, and I absolutely love it because a lot of people come to us when they have gotten frustrated with not seeing results with other like with Western medicine or other technologies. So it's really nice to be able to help people when they felt like there was no hope.
Got it. Now let me ask you this: how many people have you treated? Have been treated through the quantum touch within the last 15 years?
Oh, it's hard to say the number of people because we have a lot of practitioners around the world, and I'm not sure how many people everyone's worked with over the years. So I don't feel like I can provide a really good number. I mean, right now we have about 1,000 practitioners on the world, and it's hard to say how many people they touch and how many people have results from a whole network of people. So I would say a lot.
Well, if you figure it out, if you at least if everyone, all the practitioners treated at least one person per year, that's a minimum of 15,000 people, period. So and that's the low scale end. So it's undetermined. And I've out of those 15,000, about what percentage of those people get results that are very beneficial and meaningful for them?
Let's see. Well, I guess I could just give you like some numbers. So like our database has maybe over 100,000 people in it. So that means like that many people actually have tried either a workshop or a course with us. So as far as the percentage of people, I guess the most accurate record that we have is our clinical study, where we had a 67% reduction in pain on average.
Mm-hmm.
Most people who try quantum touch do see some results. At least something starts to shift. And I feel like whenever you're working with energy, it's fairly easy to see results because you're dealing with the root of reality creation, right? You're getting straight to the core of what our reality is. So
right.
most likely, I've seen a lot of great. We have a lot of healing stories on our website. You go to quantumtouch.com and then click on our section on healing stories. You'll see a lot of different healing stories, and again, they're all over the map, even pets and all kinds of stuff. But I don't have like really good, other than that clinical studies, which is on our website. I don't really have good statistics on the percentage of
Got
the
it. Got it.
study it.
Well, let's go like this. Do you have hundreds of testimonials, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we have lots of healing stories and testimonials on the website, page after page. We've been around since for such a long time. And we generally include those in our newsletter as well. So every week we send out a newsletter, and we have a lot of stories in there too. And we're currently composing an ebook that's just healing stories, and we're intending to come out with that fairly soon. So that'll be people get to see what types of results that we see.
Got it. And that's a really good idea. Absolutely, a really good idea. Now let me ask you this, area code 702. Did you want to ask Jennifer a question?
No.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so that's okay. So I'm assuming that this book, Love Incorporated, is a spin-off from all this quantum touch stuff. Is that what I hear you saying?
So, Love Incorporated is my first book, and I'm actually working on the second book right now. And my whole arena is twofold for people. My thing is, how do you figure out your life purpose? Why are you here? What's the highest good? What is your true calling in life? And my book, Love Incorporated, is devoted to helping people tap into their guidance and figure out their life purpose. The second book I'm working on is once you've figured out your life purpose, how do you actually align your finances with that? Because I've noticed so many people are struggling with money who are on some path doing their life purpose. I've met coaches and healers who are couch surfing or people who feel like they just can't make ends meet, they're constantly stressed about money. So my whole arena is, first of all, what's your life purpose, and second of all, how do you actually get your finances aligned with it?
Now that's a really good idea. I don't know if you've ever checked out the psychic show that I do, the Golden Age Psychic Show, but I do programs. I call them programs. A lot of people do treatments, prayers, affirmations, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And I just call them programs. But that would be a really good program that I hadn't even thought about. Aligning your finances with your true life purpose, with your divine life plans and your soul. Wow, that would be really interesting. You want to try it?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and area code 702. Okay, if you want to try this and be in on this, I got a couple of programs that I like to do. First of all, I like to do a karma clearing program and a fortune type program. That usually is helpful for a lot of people. And the other program that I like to do is literally for pain, clearing pain out of people's molecular structure, and then now aligning people with their soul. That's my newest venture that I've come across literally within the last couple of weeks. So it's been really interesting to work with that. And when I first did it on myself, I thought, wow, that was huge, and it was like a big energy structure that was just shifted. So I was just kind of blown away. But aligning your finances with your divine life plan and true life purpose and soul, I don't know if I've done that one before yet or not. So okay, if you guys want to play, we're going to play. Here we go. So now, if you want to do accept this, if you're accepting of this program, first of all, are you okay if I do and you know what? For those people listening to this show after the fact, if you want in on this, I'm going to let you in on it as well. First of all, are you okay if we do a clearing on karma, cords and ties, and pain for now? Are you okay with that, Jennifer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, for all of you that are accepting of this and want to let the universe that you accept it, you can either put one hand on your lap facing up for receiving or on your heart. And for all of you that are listening to this after the fact, that are listening to the show after it's over, in the future, then if you do the same, then the same will apply. If you let the universe know that you're accepting this of this program of this gift, then the same will apply to you. So all of you, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Breathe in the golden white Christ-like energies through your nose. Breathe out all the negative energies from your body through your mouth. And then one more time. Okay. So here we go. I mean, it's going to take me about a minute. I'm going to be quiet, and then when I'm done, I'll come back, and then we'll go from there. Here we go. Did you feel anything from that, Jennifer?
Yeah, I mean, it felt definitely peaceful, for sure.
Okay, good. Area code 702, you don't have to say anything, but did you feel anything from that?
Just relaxed.
Or relaxed? Okay. And that's usually typically what most people feel from that. They feel lighter, they feel more relaxed, more calmer, more peaceful. Okay, so now the next program I'd like to do. First of all, I think I want to calibrate or align us with our souls and our higher selves. Are you okay with that, Jennifer?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. Again, putting a hand on your heart or a hand facing up on your knee for receiving is all it takes to accept this gift. Here I go. I'm going to be quiet for another minute. Did you feel anything from that, Jennifer?
Yeah, again, I felt, that I'm just, relaxed. It felt more relaxed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last night I did that with a woman, and she said she felt a tingling sensation in her body. So that was kind of interesting. Okay, so
Oh, cool.
yeah. So the last program that I want to do is aligning our finances with our true life purpose, with our divine life plan, and our soul. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. And again, all those that are listening to this in the future, if you put your hand on your heart or facing up for receiving, you too can get in on this program as well. Here we go. Okay, did you feel anything from that?
Let's see. Again, I felt, I'm like definitely in the zone of relaxation going on over here.
Okay. So 702, anything else significant that you felt?
Just more centered.
Okay. Okay, good. So that aligning our finances with our higher selves and souls. I haven't thought about that yet. Okay. So anyhow, and what happens is, I believe that you probably agree with this, Jennifer, is that sometimes the energies work right away, and sometimes they're like slow gen. They take over time. They take effect and they really kick in. So within the next 6 months, things will shift, and then you'll see what happens from any of this, if at all. So I guess we'll go from there. So anyhow, your book. Go now. You said there's four let me see, four insights that you talk about in this book that that help people connect with their businesses, with their higher self. Or go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So my first book, Love Incorporated, I talk about a few insights that I've realized that helped me first, live my purpose. And the first one is accepting idea that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that goes back to what I was saying before, that everything is energy. So the whole concept behind there is, how do we address things from an energetic level? So that's the first step, is just to recognize that everything is energy. The second one that I talk about a lot is how to connect with your guidance, which I believe comes through your heart. So if everything is energy, if you think about this for a moment, there's a process that happens that goes from the realm of energy to physical reality. How does, for example, the thought that we want to move an arm actually translates into an arm moving? Or, on a grander scale, how does like our energy actually translate into reality? And that's like a mysterious question that even scientists and philosophers are still getting to the bottom of. It's called the mind-body problem. And my philosophy on that is that within the heart, there's actually a mechanism that translates our energy field, the energy and essence of who we are, into physical reality. And that's all done through what's going on in our heart. So let me give you a more tangible example. What I've seen with some people is when they have a physical disease, such as cancer, for example, what's going on that created that disease, or what manifested that disease, is sometimes stuck anger, like unprocessed, unreleased, resentment and anger that's built up in their energy field, and that actually can lead to physical disease. And even doctors are aware of that negative emotions, that have gone unchecked and unprocessed can actually manifest as a physical disease. So the second part of my book is I'm really helping people like tap into and understand what's really going on in your energy, what's going on in your heart, so that you can alter your reality in the direction that you'd like to go. But that requires a level of self-awareness going on in your heart. So that's insight number 2 in your book is in my book is following your heart. The third insight that I focus on is how to turn a challenge into an opportunity. And I talk a lot of that from examples of my business, because I believe that when you're faced with a problem, it's not necessarily just an inconvenience or a pain, or just a pain. It's actually an opportunity to go more into your life path. So, for example, if I give an example of when I lived in Los Angeles, I had this place to live that had rats. It had plumbing leaks and sewage through the toilets. The heat went out in the middle of winter. It had gas leaks. It was just basically the haunted mansion. And there's two ways to face this. One is to say, "Woe is me, this totally sucks. I'm just stuck here in this horrible rental." And then the other way to deal with it is say, "Okay, what is the universe trying to tell me? What am I trying to tell myself? Like, what is this challenge about?" And for me, how I took it was that Los Angeles was no longer the right place for me to be. That in essence, what I really wanted was to be out in Hawaii. So the housing situation was so horrible that I was basically, in essence, inspired to move. It was kind of like the final straw that said, "All right, I get it, time to go." And so it actually led me to what I really wanted to do, which was live out here. So just an example, we can approach the challenge from what is the universe saying through that, and understand the whole reason why that's there. And so my book focuses on that aspect, which leads into what I believe is the authentic self, because when we're living life from full authenticity, I don't think I pronounced that right, but when we're fully authentic, the drama and the challenges and the financial stuff and people issues and all that stuff tends to go away the more authentic we become. Because I feel like everything in life leads us into being authentic and following our heart. So the whole book kind of focuses on eventually getting to your true self and how you understand what that is again. So that's my book in a nutshell. And
now, earlier when I did the clearing of pain and karma and fortune ties, I went to the root of that and what created them as well, and did a clearing on that as well. So when I was doing that, I was going deep, real deep. So that's one.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, we have to go deeper with it sometimes and understand the energy behind it. And if we want a full resolution, right? Like, with disease, for example, let's say somebody undergoes chemotherapy. A lot of times what happens is the cancer comes back. It could be a couple years, but they go into remission and then it comes back. Why? And I believe that going deeper into the problem, if you want to enact a long-term solution, going deeper into the energy is where you're going to see a longer-term solution. Right. So I'm really big on, similar to like if you have a hole in the wall in your house, there's two options. You can cover it up with a picture and ignore it, or you can get out the spackle, cover up,
right.
plug the hole with the spackle, right? Sand it down, realize you didn't wait for the spackle to dry, and do it right, actually repair the hole. And I'm more of the philosophy of let's get to the root cause, as you said, and actually repair the issue, rather than trying to cover it up.
Got it. So now let me ask you, what's your intentions with this book? What do you want to accomplish with this book?
So both books actually, I want to accomplish two things. One is helping people find their life purpose, figure out why they're here, And in fact, some of the readers who read this first book said it really helped them tap into their divine guidance. It helped them tap into what their heart was trying to say. Which, if that's what happens, then I've done my job.
Right.
So that's the first step. The second step, which is I'm focusing on my second book, is how do you create financial alignment, as I like to call it, when you're doing your purpose. How do you be comfortable financially? Why do people struggle with money when they're living their purpose? And how to get out of that struggle. And it's just grew out of the fact that I see a lot of this in my community, unfortunately, where a lot of really kind-hearted, well-intentioned people wanting to help others, and yet their car is broke and they can't go anywhere and they can barely afford to live and they're struggling with they can't afford to buy a book or whatever. So it's I wanted to address that issue that I see a lot as well, and that's the focus of my second book.
Now, did you say that what your name of the second book is going to be?
The second book is called Spiritual and Broke. It's basically for everyone who's still spiritual and broke. So,
right.
Yeah, and I'm right in the midst of working on it right now. I'm almost complete with the manuscript. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one because it just addresses this topic that I see come up a lot. Is like I'm fully broke, yet I want to live my purpose. So. Anyway, so that's my intention for both of them.
So now, I've been working with entrepreneurship, online entrepreneurship, for months, years. I don't know how many years, but anyhow, and even now, and even in the last couple of days, I've been saying, I don't want to worship money. I don't want to worship money at all. I mean, I think it's a great tool to utilize for lots of stuff, but as being my deity or my I don't know, guide. I don't know. Is money a guide? Can it be a guide?
Like anything in life, I feel like it's an opportunity for growth. The whole idea of trying to align your finances can produce a lot of growth. Like anything, relationships is an opportunity for growth. Finding your purpose is an opportunity for growth. Financial alignment is an opportunity for growth. Health stuff is an opportunity for growth. So I believe it can be a tool, as you say, and an opportunity to grow.
I hear you. And the only thing is that some of these people that I listen to that have to do with entrepreneurship, I don't know. It feels to me like they're actually worshiping money in a sense, and to me, I'm just not into that. And so, but I don't think there's anything wrong with money and using it as a tool to support your true life purpose, your divine life plan, your soul, your direction, your path, whatever. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just to me, worshiping it in the process is not an objective that I'm interested in. So I think, and maybe that's what I've been trying to clear up for myself, because I've been working with doing an entrepreneurship training program for the last several weeks, and for the last couple of weeks I just stopped doing it because I kept thinking, well, why am I not doing it? So anyhow, that's what I finally concluded for myself within the last couple of days, I think.
Okay, let me address that for a moment. So, there's this fear, I feel like, among a lot of spiritually aligned people that money will corrupt them. And that, because we don't always have the best examples. There are a lot of businesses out there where the money aspect is the focus. The profit and loss, the bottom line. That the business is there primarily to make money. Now, not all businesses are like that, but we have some unfortunate examples where people or business owners have sacrificed well-being or have sacrificed the well-being of money. Have sacrificed the well-being of others to make money, or have even exploited people for the sake of money. And that's what thieves do, right? So on that level, it's the money can leave a bad taste in some people's mouths because nobody wants to be stolen from or manipulated, and I totally get that. Now, on the flip side, there are a lot of people out there who struggle with money so much that it impedes their ability to serve. So it's like that whole line in the airplane, put the oxygen mask on your toe before helping your child. Like if you can't even, like if you're struggling to eat or pay your rent or fix your car or you have to hitchhike everywhere, which I've seen all of this, right? How
Right.
can you help others? There's no real way if you're in that struggle mode, how can you help others get out of that? So money in a sense is important on that level because if you are struggling with it, I feel like it impedes your ability to be your life purpose. So
Hmm.
I believe in a balanced approach, saying, all right, this isn't about having a mansion necessarily, right? This isn't about exploiting others. This is about having enough money so you don't need to worry about money, so you're not broke, so you're not in debt, so you're wondering where you're going to get your next meal, so you're not like camping on someone's couch as a place to live. I mean, I know one life coach who was saying, well, I have nowhere to really coach people because I have nowhere to live. I'm on people's couches. And so he can't really help others if he, has no stable environment of his own. So that's what I mean by there's a balance out there between doing your life purpose and also having enough money to fund it. And that's the focus of my second book is how do we create that balance so that we're not suffering and but we're not on the greed level either. We're not exploiting people for money. We've created a balance.
Right. So now the ultimate experience or action, word, or deed or accomplishment is to be of service. And so I think for me, I'm not interested in money getting in the way of me doing the service that I'm here to do. That's I think what really pisses me off because sometimes it does, and it's annoying because I'm reaching out to be of service, and yet I got all of a sudden I got stuff cutting my arms off or whatever to so that I can't do the service that I need to be doing. So that's what is really annoying to me. So with that in mind, I want to do an alignment of struggle with our soul and our higher self. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Again,
Yeah.
for those of you in the future that are listening to this as well, you can get in on this gift. Put one hand on your heart or put one hand facing up for receiving. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, here we go. Struggle. We're going to align struggle with our souls and our higher selves. Here we go. It's funny because I did one of these alignments a few days ago. I think a few days ago, last week, and one of the women was going, "Man, I can still feel that processing through my body, reverberating through my body now." So did you guys feel anything from that?
Again, I feel relaxed.
Okay.
So yeah, the
I
full energy.
Jennifer, I just think you're just relaxed, period, all the time. But that's one. So anyhow, okay, and we'll see what happens. I felt some shifting around, and in fact, it's still processing through even now. I think so. I think that was probably a good program for me. So, what about you, Eric Code 702?
Oh, I just wanted to know. Well, first of all, I felt more relaxed. But what I want to know is when you have I've tried different entrepreneurial things in the past and failed miserably because I trusted the wrong people, and now I know better. I've learned about the subject of narcissism, which is amazing. I think everybody should know about this. But anyways, I just feel like this sense of fear trying new things now because of all these like miserable fails that I've had before. How do you get over that? Like,
That's a great question. So, every entrepreneur, including me, has had situations where, let's say you hire somebody to do a job for you, and you pay them a deposit. They completely fail. They don't do the job, and they run off with your money, and you don't hear from them again. You can't get hold of them. Those types of situations. Is that kind of what you were thinking of?
yeah, that's one of several. Yeah.
Yeah.
People, I've learned a lot about behavior tactics and manipulative tactics. Now I won't be such a sucker, but in the past, I was such a new age junkie for a while. I was just like, oh, if you just believe in love, then everything, the universe will support you and what you want. And then now I understand, though, that in my opinion, yes, you can trust the universe, but that also means you can trust the universe to give you like what you're leveraging improperly or properly, and if you're improperly leveraging your energy, then it's gonna give you back some negative stuff that like you have to learn how to leverage your power. So anyways,
I hear you.
I'm learning all that. I'm learning all that. But I just had some really con artist people in my life, and just like, oh my God, it's really scary what some people are capable of doing, and that fear in my it's like a deep cellular thing that I'm still trying to heal from, and so it's just kind of scary to me, and how I'm just trying to figure out how to like heal from that,
Yeah,
so that I
can
move forward without being stuck in fear. Yeah, and I know you guys were just talking about struggling and stuff, but when it comes to scary people doing really like terrible things, it's pretty,
I have a lot of experience with this type of stuff. One of the things that I noticed is that even if people appear to be spiritually conscious, like they're talking about love and light, they're talking about the law of attraction, they're saying all the right things, it doesn't mean that they're going to behave in integrity. And this was one of my lessons, because I always assumed that, oh, well, this person is talking a high level of spiritual consciousness, they must behave in integrity. And so I would blindly trust everyone. And I ran into a lot of trouble doing that, because I realized that even if they're talking a nice story, their behavior may not align with what they're saying. So one of the ways, and I don't know your specific situation, I'm not sure if you want to share it, or I can give you some tips that I do now. If because being afraid to be an entrepreneur doesn't serve you in the long run, obviously.
Okay, for instance,
yeah.
I could tell you, for instance, I have this boyfriend that is like kind of a YouTube guru known for some amazing things, and I was with him from the very, very beginning of the process, and so we're not together anymore, but he is continuing his name, and he's pretty successful in what he's doing, and I was so courageous to help him from the very beginning when there wasn't a lot of money coming in, and I was working in the nightclub industry, and it worked for me. It served for my lifestyle. It served me. It paid my bills, and he didn't like it. So it was this constant emotional drama that he created about my job, and I ended up quitting my job, and because I wanted to, and he would always say, oh, if you just trust the universe, and everything. And I wanted so badly to help him with his business, because I thought by helping him, it would serve both of us in the end, and I thought we were going to be a team and everything. Well, I ended up walking away from my house just to make our bills less, and I walked away from my credit and everything, and that was like the opposite of everything I ever stood for. I had really high integrity up until that point. But I was so exhausted emotionally from all the drama after 3 years, I just kind of gave in and I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust the universe. And then when I did and I helped him and he started getting more successful with his business, I realized that I was basically a slave and I had no power in the situation and he had all the control of the money and it was like I put myself in such a bad position because all of a sudden I was completely dependent on him and I gave up everything thinking, oh, if I just trust the universe that everything would work out. And I'm still trying to climb out of this hole. And it's like I have like this courage, but it's so deep inside this hole because I'm still like recovering from that. And
Okay, now area code 702. I apologize. First of all, what is your name? What's your first name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. And how did you hear about us, Jennifer? The show.
On Facebook.
On Facebook? Okay. So Jennifer, this is what I'm going to say to you. So first of all, if you're ever confused about decisions going on, that means you're not in your heart space. And you can pretty much tell. Most people can tell if they're confused about something or another. If you're ever confused about something, it's because you're not in your heart space. So you want to figure out what it takes to get you there, period. Whether it be through quantum touch, treatments, or whatever, prayer, walking, jogging, meditation, or whatever it takes to get you in your heart space, then that's what you want to do. And you want to figure out what's going to help you stay there on top of that as well on a regular basis. Now, once you get clear from that, now there are ways that you can test. Either you can. Do you know what a pendulum is? Have you ever used a pendulum?
Yeah, but I use one. It's just sometimes when you're emotionally involved, I feel like you can.
Yep.
You can get mixed answers.
And that's what I'm saying. If you're confused, and then you want to find out how to get yourself back into your heart space, and then ask the question. The other thing you can do is muscle testing, which might be just as good or better. So those are different things that you can do yourself. So anyhow, that Jennifer, Taylor, do you have any other advice? Well, we got a few minutes left, so go ahead.
Yeah, I think Jennifer, you brought up so many different issues. The first one is the idea of trusting the universe, and because we're taught that that somehow it'll all work out if you just quote unquote trust the universe, and I feel like sometimes that does people a disservice because a lot of times trusting the universe doesn't necessarily mean blindly trusting other people. I mean, it's like two different aspects, right? So on one hand, yeah, and this is really difficult because especially if somebody's like presenting themselves as super conscious, the idea is, oh, I'm going to trust this because it feels like I'm trusting the universe and I'm surrendering to the will of spirit and I'm on the right track, and yet on one hand that team is running right, and on the other hand you notice that somebody isn't treating you well. So there's a disconnect, right? So,
right.
And then so your tendency, and I've done this before, to say, well, I'm trusting the universe. I know they're kind of being mean, they're not treating me well, but I'm going to trust the universe anyways. And I think what we need to do is...
It wasn't about being mean. It was an emotional drama situation where I felt like, maybe if I just didn't do that job, then all the stress of the emotional drama would go away, but it just transferred to something else.
I think the emotional drama is actually emotional abuse, right? Like it's
right.
giving you a hard time for being yourself. That's a red flag. If somebody's
right.
saying,
yeah, I know. I've done a lot of healing over this past year, and I know better now. But man, that's like to jump in and success again is hard. After seeing do that.
And like the thing is, you don't need to jump in. That's the nice part, is that you're allowed to build trust over time when you work with people. Because they're not God, they're humans, right? And so it's okay. What I like to do is give people, whether you're dating or whether it's somebody that's working for you, start out kind of small. In a dating situation, stuff is, go really small. Like, get to know a person a lot before you get really emotionally involved. Like, take your time. And I feel like that's okay because there's no dictum that says that we have to just blindly jump into something and trust the universe. We're allowed to take our time and take baby steps towards a certain direction or something. And that may be the way to go, is say, all right, I've been burned. I learned a lot, but the next person I get involved with on any level, I'm going to, give this slow and build trust. And that's okay, I feel.
Now, one of the things you can do, Jennifer, is write this boyfriend a letter, and nobody has to look at this letter. Nobody except you and the universe, and tell this person everything you wanted to tell them. I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and I like this, and I like that, and then set boundaries. From now on, if you and I talk, it has to be under the guise of the right healthy relationship. Blah 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 blah. And then grab and take that letter. In fact, Dia de los Muertos is coming up as well, and on November 1st, you might want to do a little prayer thing where you write down, honor all the people that have already been deceased and gone on, the family and friends that have already gone on, and then put down in there also the things that you want to release and let go, grief and abuse or whatever. But anyhow, write this guy a letter, say a little prayer to the universe. I offer this up in blessing to you, universe, and then amen, and then burn it and let it go. You might want to think about something like that. The other thing you can do that might be of help, if you're interested in being involved with another person, another lover, another partner, then you might want to write that person a letter and say hi and I want to meet you within the next 3 months, and I want to consciously know who you are, and I want us to be under the guise of right healthy relationships, and I want us to go out to coffee and then dinner and then maybe go out 2 or 3 times a week, blah 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 blah, and then do the same thing with that and just offer it up to the universe, burn it, and let it go as well. Does that make sense to you, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Jennifer, does that make sense to you? Okay, fine.
Which Jennifer?
No, I was talking to Jennifer of the 702.
Oh, okay.
So anyhow, go ahead.
Did you ask me something? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We're about out of time. Jennifer Taylor, is there anything else you have that you want? Anything coming up that you want to tell us about? Or I don't know, any specials on the quantum touch stuff? Anything else you want to tell us about that we haven't talked about yet?
I just wanted to encourage people to sign up for my mailing list. So I'll let you know when I come out with my new book, and that's at JenniferNoelTaylor.com, my new website. So, and I'm going to be giving some free gifts away when you sign up. So, anyways, I really appreciate the opportunity to be on this show, and send my love to Jennifer, the other Jennifer.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being brave and coming on to our show, 702, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you.
I want to thank all of you for stopping by, and I want to thank you, Jennifer Taylor, for stopping by and sharing your vast knowledge with us, your experiences with us. To all of you, have a God guide us week. Is it week? Yeah, week. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.
Aloha.
This session is no longer being recorded.